Hi, we're Harriet and Mauro. We're restoring a 5-acre smallholding in Spain into the homestead of our dreams. Over the last months, we've been working on transforming this falling down storage shed into the luxurious greenhouse bathroom of our dreams. Since breaking down the originally badly built walls and first starting to rebuild them, we have come a really long way, and we were finally excited to start working on the interior finishing jobs. But a few weeks ago, a huge rainstorm left water pouring in through the back wall, and we realised we needed to do some remedial work around the back of the building to make the room watertight. Unfortunately, just as we were ready to begin pointing all of the stonework, our generator packed up, which we needed to run the air compressor and the pointing gun. So whilst that job was paused, we continued inside. We took the opportunity to experiment with hempcrete, a material we'd never worked with before but are considering using in the future renovation of this large ruin, which will one day be our main family home. Due to the irregular shape of our bathroom walls, this has become a pretty awkward and big job, which I've been working on for the last couple of episodes. But I promise this week we finally get this job done and move on to some very exciting next steps. So stick around for that because this bathroom is starting to look incredible and I can't wait to show you where we're going with this. Alright, today I am fixing the next set of battens onto the wall for the hempcrete. We were in the last video experimenting with a few methods of not using the boards and just piling it on by hand, which was fine and helped us get up to the very top, where we couldn't fix a board on because there just wasn't enough space to pour the hempcrete from the top. But now we're going to crack on with things a little bit faster. We've got lots of places where we can put more boards up. So yeah, today I'm just going to do the battens. It takes a little while. And then tomorrow I have a full day where I can just crack on with the hempcrete. So hopefully we can get this done. Bobby, this is going to make a lot of noise. You don't want to be in here. You don't want to be in here. Right, I'm going to try things differently this time, because that is not good. Oh, come on, you haven't dried up in like 3 minutes. Are you actually kidding me? Oh, I should have got more nozzles. I give up. Alright, I think that has to go in the bin now. I should have done all my holes first and just gone round with this quickly when they were all done, but I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, so I was just kind of learning as I went. What is it?
Cookie.
Mm. I might have to come and put like some little spaces when I come to actually fixing the boards in place, but I'll do that when I get the boards up. Then I have to shuffle the boards all around the room because I've only got two. Yeah. Whew. Oh no, we're not done. Still need to fill in this gap here underneath this board along the back wall. Previously I had used some wooden offcuts to create a sort of platform to support the hempcrete in places where it was starting above ground level, but this time I wanted to see if some scrunched up chicken wire would work as well and be an easier method of stuffing some awkward shaped gaps. One? Oh, that's a good one. Let's go. A big pile. Whoop. You go see the ducks this way? This way, Jolly. Choo choo. Choo choo. Choo choo. So this is the line of trees that we planted the other day. This is the first in a series of lines that we've got planned in this area of the garden. It's a work in progress. I've got a whole plan, but yeah, we've got one line in, which is a start, and we have got 2 walnuts, 4 pistachios, 2 paulownia trees, that's like the high, fast-growing, shade-producing support trees, and 2 almonds. In between I've planted some brassicas, which seem to be doing really well, and also a few thornless blackberry bushes. We'll see how they do. Pistachios are starting to lose their leaves now. Paulownia is looking gorgeous. There we go, there's the line just there, you can see it. And the goal is to just have a few more lines down here, rows of annuals, rows of trees in between. Well, there is a little bit of a dividing concrete like wall thing just there, and the fruit cage. You can kind of see that wall here. It's very crumbly, but here it is going along there. And I think that's it for our autumn trees now. We've done quite a few this year. We did a lot in the spring as well. I actually counted up the other day and we've done 52 trees this year, which is kind of crazy. And then if you count like the berry bushes and some of the ornamental trees like the magnolias and the oleanders that we've also put in, and a bunch more, I think we're up to like more than 75. Yeah, I think we are done for trees for this year. I think we're good. I'll probably still be tempted to buy a few more, plant a few more, but yeah, we've achieved our goals, let's just say. Okay, it's Hypocrite Day. Oh god, how hard it is to get these boards up by yourself. Let's see. Oh, of course, it's confused. This corner up here is going to be very hard, I think. I did want to progress on this wall as well simultaneously as the others, so I've just put this cobbled together board here so we can start working on this one too. Alright, on to the last bag of hempcrete now. Well, the last bag of hemp, that is. This is my 5th pastera of the day, I think. I seem to get about 4 pasteras out of one of these bags. Hopefully I can finish this bag today and get as far as possible. As predicted, the top corners of the room were quite awkward, and although the time-lapse makes everything look quite fast and efficient, it was actually painfully slow. Every bucket of hempcrete I managed to chuck in there was a big effort. This is not to complain, because I really did enjoy this process. Mauro had taken Santi out for the day, and this was what I chose to do for fun on my day off instead of sit down and read a book or something else. So yeah, definitely not complaining, but just to give you an idea of what this work was actually like, this is kind of how slow it was. Meanwhile, the narrow wall was a totally different story, because this was freshly built with just one kind of bricks by actual builders, and it was nice and flat, and hempcreting this wall was an absolute joy. It was so fast and so straightforward, and I just had to remember that this is what the work would be like if you were dealing with a more conventionally shaped room. Right, I've got a few little seedlings to plant today. The garden has recovered really well from the hail that we had maybe a month or so ago. The brassicas are all doing really well. The pak choy is actually doing amazing. We've been really enjoying that. But yeah, everything mostly survived and is growing again. The broad beans are doing really well. Yeah, everything's doing well. We're still getting some courgettes and some summer stuff, some peppers here and there. Lettuces are doing well. Anyway, yeah, so the garden is really nice at the moment. I've got some curly kale to plant today and some beetroot. I just can't seem to get much success direct sowing in this garden because of the mulch and keeping it wet, and I don't know, yeah, just never does that great for me. So we're going to try planting some beetroot from little seedlings from the market and see if they do alright. I need to weed this bed a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of pull back the mulch as much as I can over the area that I want to plant, and then I'll replace it. Do a little bit of weeding. We've got some bindweed going on here. So, meanwhile, the hempcreting job, it was not finished in the original day I had anticipated. It actually took me 2 more full days of work to complete because this final wall was just so awkward to do and was going very slowly. I couldn't get close to the wall with the scaffolding because of the rocks jutting out at the bottom of the wall, so it just meant lots of trips up and down the ladder and lots of awkward, uncomfortable bending and positioning to get all the hempcrete packed in and tamped down. I was super motivated to get this job done though, because just being in this room is so nice. I can't really explain it, but it just has a really nice feel. The air is warm because of the transparent roof, but it's also just fresh and not at all stuffy or humid. We'll have to see how things go when this room is full of plants, which is the end goal, but for now I can just say that even though it's not finished, it already feels like the nicest space in our entire house. I have to also say that we are both finding this bathroom project really enjoyable because the pressure is totally off time-wise, which is a little unusual for us. Since we already have a functioning bathroom and this is an upgrade, it's okay to take our time and experiment with new techniques and just to not rush things. We are also aware that this is kind of the last big project we have planned with this house. Yes, we have the ruin to renovate next, but with this bathroom, we will have transformed this little stone cottage from a damp, dark, rat-infested den into a beautiful, functional, livable space for our family. We have some big changes coming, which we'll speak about in our next bonus video available to our YouTube members and on Patreon, so this is kind of the last project we'll work on together for a little while. So we are just trying to enjoy it and do something we're really proud of. Okay, we are so close. This is the last little bit that I need to do. It's a bit awkward to reach. I made the mistake as well of not putting a baton on the far end, so I couldn't put a board like across this section. It doesn't matter because it was really narrow, but yeah, I was so done with batons I couldn't be bothered to put one up this morning, so we just did it by hand. Just a narrow strip, and now we need to figure out how I'm going to reach up there. I think maybe the red ladder. But where am I going to put the bucket? Stand up here. And the bucket can go there. Okay, that works. Oh, I cannot wait for this job to be over. No, I have really enjoyed it, but it's just super awkward. And I just want to get on to the next stage in the bathroom now. I think that's it. Just going to take this board off and do the final reveal. Okay, so yeah, that's it. There is a bit of tidying up to do around the edges. Not necessarily with hempcrete, maybe with just like shaving off some of the rougher edges. I'm going to keep this batten up. Well, I'm going to keep all the battens are staying up. But this one is going to have a shelf attached to it to put seedlings on, because this is going to be kind of like a greenhouse bathroom. So I just need to sort of shave away some of this at the bottom, make it look a little bit neater. There's some other places where we're going to have shelves as well. That's the great thing about fixing this wood onto the wall. You have a sort of support for shelves if you want to put shelves and stuff up. But yeah, that is the hempcreting in the bathroom done. I have to say this job is probably the hardest job that I've done, just in terms of labour and just coming back to it day after day, just chipping away until it was done. It's just taken a really long time and it's been, yeah, very labour intensive. Primarily because of the wonkiness of the walls and how hard it has been to fix the batons and work sort of high up with these rocks in the way as well. So yeah, I don't think it's always that hard. But yeah, I'm really glad it's done, and I can now move on to the next stage in the bathroom. Here is a little clue about what we will be working on next. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.